like I'm not cool enough for this watch. I look at this green skeletonized BR05 limited edition, and I'm reminded of a quote from 2003's School of Rock. One of the kids in that film says, "I'm not cool enough. People in bands are cool. I am not cool." I look at this watch and I say, you know what, Bruce Williams, this goof out in Utah with the pointy hair, I'm not cool enough for this watch. This watch is for somebody cool. That's not me. Let's unpack this here in this video. I'm actually really intrigued by this limited edition. Now, Bell & Ross, I like the BR05. I've reviewed a couple BR05 models, and every year they do a limited edition in the open work dial configuration in a specific color. So back in 2019, the first year, they did a gray skeletonized version. In 2020, they did blue. In 2021, it was Nightlum. This is 2022's colorway. And next year, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Maybe they get on the turquoise hype train. Maybe they go purple. Maybe they go red. Maybe they go desert tan or something. I'm not sure. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. This is limited to 500 pieces. It is individually numbered. And the retail price is $7,000. So I can already hear those of you in the comments section shocked maybe at the price, perhaps complaining about a Bell & Ross for $7,000. Oh my goodness, they don't even have the decency to give us an in-house movement. This is a heavily modified Solita movement. How dare they, charge $7,000 for this? I'm being a little bit facetious today. I'm not sure why, but let's continue with this. Let's talk about the price and the value and who this watch is intended for. Now, going to Bell & Ross's website, they say that this was designed with cockpit instruments in mind, a circle being encompassed by a square, like we see with the majority of the watches that they offer. But this specific skeleton green abandons the pilot gloves and helmet for the stylish jacket and sneakers of the young, trendy city dweller. So maybe that's the reasoning why I don't feel like I'm cool enough for this watch. I am not the young, trendy individual with a stylish jacket and sneakers. No, I am that goofy dude out in Utah with the pointy troll hair living like 20 years ago in style, right? So I am just not cool enough for this watch. And I think a lot of you watching this video, you are not the target demographic. You're a classic watch fan. You're a classic watch collector. And you really look for that elusive and completely subjective value for money. What speaks to you? When you have $7,000 to spend, you're probably going to want to buy a Rolex or a Zenith or a Grand Seiko, or perhaps Breitling or Omega. But again, this watch is not tailored to you. This is for young wealth with style, living in a city. And I can see that there are at least 500 people in Bell & Ross's opinion that would be interested in this specific, loud, visually stylistic, and interesting watch. And it already has sold out on Bell & Ross's website. Every year, these limited colors, they sell out, and I can see the reasoning why. I might not be the target demographic. I might be that penny pincher like many of you watching this video, but I can admire this watch. And maybe if I'm a little bit cooler in future years, I can pick one up down the road if the situation is right, because I definitely get the draw. Now, this has outstanding presence, and that comes down to a few factors: the color, the open work dial, the case design, the finish, the fact that this is uncommon. Again, 500 pieces for the limited edition, produced for only 1 year in 2022. But it's the fact that it is uncommon because you won't see this posted in watch enthusiast circles. This is one of those under-the-radar cool pieces that some could construe as a fashion watch, even though I think horologically speaking, this can play with the big boys. In fact, I look at this and I see a funner Royal Oak. I see a funner Nautilus, more playful and more original than, say, a GP Laureato or similar that really tries to play up the elegance. I look at this and Bell & Ross is not doing that. They are really creating something that has strength, that you can see the design inspiration, but also it really is its own creature. And this creature is fun. And it makes me feel, again, like I'm not cool enough for the watch. Now, lovely wrist rolls, a lot of visual interest, a lot of light play coming off of this watch. The movement is called the BR322, which I mentioned is a heavily modified Sellita SW300-1 with 25 joules, a 38-hour power reserve, and a beat frequency of 4 hertz. I like the fact that it's an open work dial design. I think it's attractive to see the various components and done through a prism of green color or hue. I think that's really nice. And then the fact that the movement has a full skeleton rotor on the reverse, that works in conjunction with the dial side. There is a lot going on here that I really appreciate. I also like the fact that this does not have a date application. We have a sapphire crystal anti-reflective treatment. We have applied markers. We have an applied logo, which really, outside of Swiss made, is the only text found here on the face of the watch. And the markers are filled with superluminova. The lume is decent. It's not industry or class leading at the price, but it's not terrible. And then the bracelet will have a very nice taper from about 25 millimeters at the integrated case and then down to 17 millimeters at this sequential open closure signed butterfly deployant. And each one of the links is connected with a screw pin system. So very nice, not only with the visual aspect, but with how it feels on wrist. Now, this watch will not have a micro adjust system. And I know a lot of you really value that feature in a watch. You're not going to find it here on this skeletonized limited BR05. And I would also like to mention that this has an integrated bracelet. You can buy a rubber strap, a green rubber strap that's compatible with the case. But if you want to play with other strap options, you will be limited. And that's something that I'd like to mention here. But besides the subjective negatives, this really has presence. It has a great vibe about it. I really like it myself. And again, I've been a little facetious in this video in saying that I'm just not cool enough for the watch, but you can see who Bell & Ross is targeting this limited edition to. It might not be me. It might not be you watching this video, but it certainly has a place in the market. And maybe down the road, I can pick one up because I genuinely think this is a fun piece that I would enjoy wearing in rotation. So let me know if you have any specific questions about Bell & Ross or the BR05 or the skeleton green version. And in the comment section, place what color you would like to see Bell & Ross do next year in 2023 for the limited skeletonized colorway that they do every year. I'm interested to hear your answers. Thank you for watching today. Links in the description of the video. Shout out Brent Miller Jewelers. Have a good one, everyone. See you next time.